Okay, welcome to the Financial Fridays call. Today I decided to look at binary options and, you know, taking it from piece by piece and how binaries work, different to the different types of trading that we get exposed to on a regular basis. But we do have binary options traders in Akash X. I know Joel does a session. I know Matty Pips also does a session as well in Akash. I actually wanted to see how they go about it, but I've not had a chance to. I know Joel had a session the other day, but it wasn't it wasn't recorded. I think it was on Tuesday. I wanted to actually tune in to get a flavor of what he does. But anyway, this is how I go about my business. So first things first, guys. If you want to do this, I want you to also be in a position where you can take these trades, whether it's live or otherwise. So you guys should have all had a link to download Close Option. If you have done that, great. If you haven't, you can still do that while I'm going through. So Close Option should have a link, a referral link I sent on last week or Tuesday. Seems like last week on Tuesday. So you can follow along. If you just want to observe and do it afterwards, then obviously that's down to you. But I'm going to hopefully look at some trades that I can be taking. Nice thing with Close Option, you can start from $5, and they have all sorts of things on here. So if I go here, load that up. Come on, wait, so slow today. My goodness. Bad idea. Bad idea. Let's just leave that. You can get started from $5 with a real money, or you can just do a demo, and they have contests where you can earn a slice of a cash prize. So it's pretty good as well. So, as you learn your craft, you can tap in here and get started. This is taking too long. Close that out. All right. So first things first, guys. I want to look at the two things I always look for. I want to look for good strength in currencies that I'm trading. All right. So I do have a tool that I use, and in Akash, they've got a great tool in the resort tools here. You can look at what we call trend analysis and see which ones are the strongest ones to trade. Okay. With binary options, you always want to be looking at the strongest against the weakest. Okay. Pairing. Ideally in any form of trading that you're doing. But it's more, for me, it's more apparent in binary because we're going to be looking to take small slot time frames. It's based on time as opposed to based on levels. Okay, so in regular trading, we want price to go to a certain height. In binary, we want it to be it's time derived. So we do want to have an outcome, but it's time derived, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So at the moment, let's just look at some of these. I'm going to do my little I'm going to bring a little watch list together. So let me just do that. And let's just have a look at what we have here. So first things first. So ideally, I want to do all of this before 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is when the market opens over here. So ideally, you want to have all of this kind of prepped beforehand. But, let's just go through it as I'm talking. So the strongest by far is GBP USD. For an uptrend. So I'm going to just put buys. This can obviously change. So buys, I'm going to look at GBP USD. I'm going to look at GBP. Now I don't believe the GBP pound yen is actually on the platform. Let's have a look. And we don't have all the cryptos either, just literally BTC, USDT, and Ethereum. So that's that. Let's look at any sales. Really haven't got a full house of sales, which is fine, but we do have some strong we do have a couple of strong on the 5 and 10 minute. I mean, for me, guys, really truly, it's these that are really important. Even though we didn't get three across the board, I'm going to look at NZD because again, we're looking at really the 5 and the 15 minute for me to make a decision. And sells, I'm looking at. Just put, I can make that green. The buys, make that green, and then sells. Hey, what's going on? Is it too early for me or something? Make that green, and then sells, and make that red. Really easy. All right, and so we got on the sell front. Again, I don't think any of those are dollar CAD. Normally the dollar pairing, normally the dollar pairing are the ones. Actually, I could have just left it that we go for. So this is our list. We'll look at that as we go through. So I'm just gonna keep that there. Perfect, perfect. I'll refer back to this whenever I need it. So we're gonna go to the charts, and I'm gonna go to. Let me go to dashboard. So this platform, just to show you, you got you got the trade contests and stuff. Public contest is running, so you can test your skills amongst other traders. And then you go to the trade room, and which is where we're going to start looking at these charts. All right, so if I go trade now, I'm going to look at what is occurring. Let that load. And while that's loading. Okay, perfect. So we go back to my list to show you. We're going to be looking at pound dollar. Pound dollar. I don't think pound yen. It's not a list. It's not on the list. I know that. But these dollar pairs. So pound New Zealand dollar. So we look at pound dollar and New Zealand dollar. So pound dollar is going to give us 84% return, and we're going to set this to a minute. So every bar here, guys, is a minute, right? So that's and then I'm going to try and go back as I can. You can actually add different indicators on here as well if you wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to maybe change this to yeah. Okay. That's a pound dollar. Show you it back as candles. You can change it to whatever you want, candlesticks. We'll leave it as candlesticks just to make it easy for now. And what I want to do, the time frame I'm looking to trade is a 5 minute time frame. So whatever profit I'm gonna make, I'm always looking to make. I'm looking to risk or make about 20 bucks per trade. Okay, so I'm gonna risk $24 to make 20 on this trade, right? In a 5 minute time frame. So now I've kind of got one of my assets I'm looking at. I'm going to start looking at the charts. Okay, so let's just have a look at the charts. Now the charts is where you guys can have what we call Tradingview, which is a free software. Again, if you need a link, I can ping you a link in the chat. If you need Tradingview to be downloaded, then we can do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add pound dollar to my watch list here. So I'm just going to go to the left and I'm going to type in pound dollar. Now there's lots of different companies. I'm actually trading on Vantage. So I'm going to add Vantage because that's the level I'm looking at. And I'm going to just click on the menu here. Whoops. I'm going to click on the menu here. Well, easy. We might get a sell signal already on here. Let me just see pound dollar. Should have done that on here. I'm going to save this to my watch list. GBP USD. And let me just save this to my watch list. So come on, speed up, man, speed up. Time's money. All right, so we're going to go here, pound dollar, Vantage. All right. So I have it on a 5 minute and I have it on a 1 minute. Okay, and guys, this is actually the trade I'm interested in taking. Uh, interested in taking this. I've gotten a bit late here. I still feel this is a good trade to take. Let me just see. One thing ain't showing. Nah, I'm not. I want something to show. Let me walk you through this. I have a couple of indicators on here. And to be honest, I'm just testing this one, this chop zone, because Jenna, the CEO, she uses this as her way of trading when it comes to the market. So let me walk you through what I have here. What's going on? Up in there. Wow. So I'm not going to do this trade, but I'm going to walk you through what I would have done in trading this. This is actually quite a nice setup for a 5 minute trade. So essentially, I'm going to walk you through what I would have done on this one. This would have been looked like it could have been a really good setup. So when I look on this chart, I've got a few things on here that I look at. First things first, I use what we call a TDI indicator. Okay, and this one lets me know. It gives me a heads up when the market is selling. Now, the chop zone is not changed. It's still showing me like we're going into buy zone. Ideally, I want to see this red. I want to see this the same color because again, I want to take the best trades and I want to make the most profit. So this is what ideally, I want to see red. I want to see, what we call confirmations. So the chop zone will be red. And I'll show you an example of one that, which will be an ideal setup. On the TDI front, we have a few different colors here, and I'll just expand this. I'm going to collapse this for a minute so I can walk you through all of these. And let me start with just making that a bit bigger. Check that up. Actually, let me just collapse that one as well. All right, so I'm making this really big here. Just going to bring this up. Come on. There you go. All right, so first things first, with the TDI indicator, I want to see price. We've got a few things happening here. We've got this blue line, okay? And these are like what we call volatility lines, all right? When price is going out of this range here, price is really what we call overbought. And if it's going below, it's really in an oversold area, okay? So these are really kind of telling points where we're looking for price to start maybe turning and going the other way. And ideally, when we get a sell signal, all right, now what we're looking at, we were looking at pound dollar, right? So we're looking at, yeah, we're looking at pound dollar. Now, the pound dollar pairing, like I said, we had a nice sell here. That would have been a nice profit on this already. I can see that. We want these two things to exist. We get a sell signal because the red crosses the green. Now that 1050, 750. All right. So the way I like to trade is I don't go straight in. I'll wait for another condition to happen. But ideally, when I get an alert like that, I'm going to mark the chart. All right. So I'm just going to draw a line, horizontal line, boom. And what I want price to come back and test it and drop like what we have here. So we had the same thing happening here on a 1 minute time frame. Again, I'm looking for certain things, but I'm going to walk you through it, and then we're going to start looking at trades that we can just do together. All right. So this is the setup. First of all, just this on its own, I'm looking for price to go below this one here. This green line needs to go below the red line. Okay. This is what is a fast, what we call moving average. This is a slower one. When these cross, it's telling me the direction is looking like it's going to switch. Okay. And that's what we had here. When they come together, when we cross over, we start looking. We don't get straight in, but we start getting prepared. And so I draw a line. I set an alarm, and I want price to come back like what we had here. Not so much this one. I want price to come back into that zone and then drop. So it's what we call break and retest. So it's broken this line. come back to test it to see, are you really who you say you are? And then it drops. So again, I'm actually looking on a 1 minute to actually execute. All right. So you see where I've got my line. If I move my crosshair, this dotted line going down and dotted going to the right. This is my crosshair. So guys, anything you're not clear on, just put in the chat. Because by half past in next 10 minutes, I think there's a news release, and there's gonna be some fireworks. It may not be big fireworks, but it's gonna be some fireworks. So what we want to do when this happens in the next 10 minutes, we want to definitely get prepared for the next 30 minutes to maybe start taking some of these trades, right? Trade setups. So I'm going to walk you through this one. So 5 minutes. I'll go to the 1 minute. Let me switch. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. Let me collapse this. And I'm going to collapse that. And just make this a wee bit bigger. Okay, so again, we get the sell signal back here. We had a cross. We got a sell here. Typically within a minute or so of few minutes of each other. Look at my time frame at 7:50. On the 5 minute time frame, I got a sell signal. But if I look at the 1 minute, on the 1 minute at 7:46, leading up to it, we got a sell signal. So essentially, it's giving us a heads up that we're going short. Now, if you're aggressive, you could actually take this as a short trade. If you're a scalper, you can use this to trade and get in. Like, you can do a short trade, scalp the market, and do a short trade. Okay, if you like to scalp, this is actually a good way of just letting you know, hey, this is a good opportunity for you to maybe get in and trade. So guys, on a 1 minute, this is where that candle, this is what I like to see. This is what we call a doji candle. This candle's got a small body, long wick either side. And so we had one here, but this is the actual, based on where I marked the chart. This is where I'm looking at. Price goes back in, we get a candle going down. This is the candle. Reject, it's reject, it's come down, try to come back, and then we drop. So really dropping for 5 minutes, guys. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We would have won that trade, even if we took the trade from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, 5 minute time frame just needs to be lower than when we got in, which is there. Boom, would have made money. Okay. Same thing here. We did it up there, obviously, but this is where we get in and we can walk it down 5 minutes and make a profit. Now, there's a couple of things that I use as a filter for me to take trades that I'm more happy to take. So this is, we have these in a typical TDI. It's called an RSI, Relative Strength Index, and it just looks at where price is overbought, similar to what we have here. If I bring this down, where price is overbought or oversold, okay? And I'm using this to see a certain point where market is definitely reversing. Okay, can you see here? This uses what we call a moving average. So we have the RSI crossing the moving average here, kind of letting us know we're no longer, at this point we were going long. You can see that we've got more green candles than red. We were going long in the market. At this point we had a cross, and now we're no longer taking buy trades. We're now looking for short trades. Okay. And so I'm going to add this to the chart. All right. So what I look for is, again, same thing. If I look at the time frame, I'm looking for this price to come down below the purple, to go below the yellow line, and then I'll wait for a signal. So if we get a signal here, there's a couple of things set up for me to start looking at this to make some money from it. Okay. So we had this situation here, similar thing. And this is where I execute. So I look at the 5 minute, I look at we want to look at where we're taking these trades and we want to make profit from. I need to relook at that Akash, because I'm sure those were buys these were buys up to a point where we're now starting to look at sells. Of course, we're on a 5 and a 1 minute time frame. And we got a nice push. So again, we're very close to 8:30. Let's just have a look at, I'm going to go back to a cash. So one thing when you're trading stuff like this, ideally you don't trade 50 minutes prior to news or 50 minutes after. You want the noise to settle before you do any of that stuff. So we're going to look, I just know that there's a news release happening today. And ideally, some people don't trade during this holiday period anyway, which is why I wanted to do this session to go through what we've got access to. All right. So actually, the pound dollar it has been an uptrend. You saw that, and then we got a sell signal. You see, this is a weaker signal there. We got sell signal just for that 5 minute. Now, ideally, we want to what we call trade with the trend. And so if I look at the news, financial news, oh no, calendar, sorry. If I look at the calendar, I go to economic calendar. There we go. Let's see. I'm only interested in red folder news. So if I look at the filter, I want the biggest impact red folder. Let me apply that. Okay. Oh, I'm not seeing anything today. Let me just check something. The website I like to use. Whoops. Forex. 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 Let's have a look here. Pretty sure there was some news release today. And there's a couple of websites you can check this out on as well. Why is my thing so slow today? Let me just pause this. All right, cool. So again, this is just a way of seeing the news outside of your app. The next week there'll be of the market. In fact, next week you can see. Well, the week after you can see as the new year kicks in from January the 6th. A lot of activity, lots of red folder, lots of volatility in the market. Big trading day, Friday the 10th. Unemployment news, non-farm payroll, huge. But as of next week, I mean, there's a couple of days here and there, towards the end day where these can move the market. Okay, so we're going to look at now. Now I know there's no news. Let's start looking at these trade setups. So again, I'm going to show you just from looking at the listings that we had, and we'll see where we go from here. So again, I'm going to go to, and there's a currency strength meter they have here as well. Again, we can look at that. Look at the tools that you've got access to. The currency strength meter. Again, we want to look at, this is ideally, we're looking at more so here, but it's good to have the trend, like the pound. You can see the pound is strong, guys. So again, overall, the pound is strong, and overall, the dollar is weak. We did get a buy, what's it called? A short, a sell, where the trend is really pound strong, being strong, and dollar being weak. So let's go back to our trade room. Again, pound dollar. We're going to look at these trade setups. I'm going to go and see if there's a trade that we want to start looking at. So right now, we're just looking at this for possible buys. And like I mentioned, the way I look at this is that two things are going to need to happen for this to be a valid buy trade. We're going to get for the faster moving average to cross the red, so the green to cross the red. So we'll be going long from here, and from here, same thing. Now, when I execute a trade, when I go into actually placing the trade, I'm looking for this action to happen. Yeah. So first and foremost, let's just look at this one. We have up here, these are what we call divergence levels. It lets us know, for good buys. These are good buys, and it may not. I don't think it showed up straight away, but it shows if there is a level that's lower, like we had here. This level is going down, but here it's going up, right? So we got that going up. So higher highs, yeah, this high is higher than this high. So when we have that scenario and we have this going slightly, even if it's slightly lower, it's lower. So this is lower, this is lower than this one. All right. So again, it was called divergence. These are points, are really good points to make money from the markets. Okay. But again, it just lets us know we're more in a bearish move, with the markets going down, and the other way around, we had this going on. All right, so we had, if I look at these lows here, so that low is lower than this low. So if you drew that, that angle would be going down, and this would be going up. That's divergence. And again, these are really powerful levels in the market where, basically market's turning, and you can see here where it's pivoted and gone and made its move, right? So we're going to look at these moves that happen. We got this cross on the RSI, and on the RSI here, we've gone like this is a really good trade setup, right? So price pivoted from here. We got the break above. Again, we're looking for the cross, and ideally, this is me. When we get what we call a pullback, this is where I get in, and I like to ride this. If I was thinking there was news at 8:30, which is why I didn't even bother look at this. But this is where we would get in. We would wait for this to pull back, and then we go long for 5 minutes. Okay, so let's just look at some trades we can take with that in mind. Any questions on what I've just gone through? So there's kind of three pieces of information here. I mean, the chop zone, again, I've just added this because I was intrigued. And it does give us a real bias of the direction we're going into. But we've got, we saw that from Akash, that we're going really long. I mean, I did a kind of counter for 5 minutes. But we're in our trend is going up. All right. So those are the trades we're looking at. So this would have been a really good profitable one for sure. Let me have a look at the other chart list on one of my lists. We had a few more. So we had a buy on New Zealand dollar. All right. And we had a sell on dollar CAD. So again, these are really good buy trades. New Zealand dollar. So Kiwi dollar. So let's look at that. New Zealand dollar. For me, guys, I don't go anything less than 70% return. So New Zealand dollar. So these kind of, I think 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, these 10 assets are the only ones I'm interested in. All right. Anything outside of that, I'm not gonna pay mind to. So I'm actually going to do a screenshot just off these so that I don't need to keep going back and forth. And I have that on the chart on the screen as well. All right, so then we'll see which one of these we can make some money from. Okay. So okay, taking a while to show up on there. So again, we're going to click on New Zealand dollar and looking at 5 minutes. Again, I just want to minimize this so I can see it. So we're going in on buys. And when inside of the app, you can really kind of see these levels as well. Yeah, you can see these levels. So we're going to go back to the chart, and then we're going to look to trade some of these. All right. So a couple of things I've mentioned today. Wow, this is really taking off, guys. Wow, this would have been a really good trade. Hence, I paid more attention. Full 15 pips from that pivot. Way before we got the buys. We're still gonna get the buy signals, because what's gonna happen is we're gonna get a pullback, Um, we're going to get a buy signal printed when the RSIs cross. We are quite high. Okay, one more thing I need to talk to you about. Let me just collapse these. Obviously, these are things you can do um, outside of this session here. Um, Let me just move it along. Let me show you. Let me show you a buy that we would have got into if we were in this before. Now, with both of these, the TDI and also the RSI, there's a 50 level, and that's a level I really like to get in on. Okay. Oh, we've got a buy printed here, so we'll see. We've now got the TDI agreeing way later rather than the RSI, but anyway, um, we got the buy printed there, and so we want this scenario. We get the green cross in the red, and you see this yellow line here. This yellow line in the middle. This is where again it shows the directional bias. So if at any point you're not sure on anything, okay, guys, I need to mark this up. Just 1 second. We've got a buy alert here. All right. Okay. So we're in a, remember we're going long, guys. Yeah, we're going long. So whilst this is happening, I want this to be going below the RSI. And then we're going to, as it goes and crosses, that's what I'm kind of looking for. We already crossed this line here. This is kind of like my scenario. I like it when it crosses, pull back, and then we go in for 5 minutes. Similar here. If I go back down here, we had just bring up my highlighter so that's a bit clear for you guys what I'm talking about. So over here on the left, we've got this scenario playing out where we crossed price came out of what the volatility bands. These are like Bollinger bands. These blue, if you ever heard of Bollinger bands, these are volatility bands. Price crossed it. Is at 5 o'clock. Went above the fast moving average. Went above the slow one. The red above and then this point here, we know this is a really strong directional change here because we've gone. This yellow line is our trend line. Okay, so anything up here, we're truly we're into buys, unless we're doing a very short counter trend trade. But ideally, you just want to go with the trend. So we've crossed it up here, and we're gone. Okay, now I'm going to just get rid of that. Now I'm going to leave my highlighter. So we've got this line, guys. There's a couple of things here. It's ideal for me to tell you about. On my chart, I have pivot lines, okay? I don't know if you guys know what pivot lines are. Right, let me just walk you through these. Okay, this is really ideal. These are, like, for me, guys, the perfect setups. The one I looked at earlier with the pound dollar, I look for retests, okay? I look at price breaks and retests all the time. So with pivot lines, what we have is levels in the market, okay? And all of these indicators are just free on TradingView, right? So this is a pivot line. Believe me, it was just really the TDI and the pivot lines that I really got to understand levels and entries, because what these pivot lines are, they're like support resistance levels in the market. I don't know if it will show me which one's which, but essentially these are support resistance levels. For highlighted, it's not showing me. Okay. So what we want, again, these are really good setups, guys. Like if you're trading Forex generally or Bitcoin or whatever. What's going on my screen? Don't know what's going on with that. My mouse is, I think, playing up. I'm going to turn on the other mouse. Go on there. Sure, what's going on? My mouse has stopped functioning. Like this one. Wow, keyboard's not working. Let me unplug this. Oh, man. Guys, are you? Oh yeah, I can see that. All right, that's working. All right, now it's working. All right, that's really strange. Everything just slowed down on me. Right, so um, I just want to show you this stuff here so that you kind of clear. Oh, I see something crashed in the background. These levels here, I'm going to bring up my highlighter. So again, it's a bit more clear for you guys to see. So these orange lines, 1, 2, are essential. If I can bring up any more. Okay, let's just work with these two. So again, price comes up to these levels and it retests it. So it breaks above it, comes back below it. All right, so it does this up and down. It's like an arrow, a zigzag. If I draw it, let me draw it on here. Actually, let me draw it on from Tradingview. Be better. I use Tradingview. Let me just draw. Wait. If I draw this, the price goes up. All right. Then price comes down. Can I draw another one? I need to. I need to do another one. So this is the move we're looking at. We're looking at up. What is it to do that? It's right there. Alt T. All right, Alt T. We're looking for price to zig down. So it breaks up. What's going on? Breaks up. Come on, breaks. Come on, man. That's giving me pure trouble today. All right. Wow, what's going on? And then it breaks up again. Uh, uh, what's that going on? Right, and then we go, yeah, one more. Now what's going on my laptop, guys? This is not what I wanted. Right, so this is the move we want. So price breaks up, comes down, and it tests this line. Right, these are all right, good entries. And guys, there's my I don't know if you guys followed my Zoom I did last week with these Pip Machines guy. He's one of the educators in Akash. He may drop some gold signals. Okay, risky market as market's not in the best. Yeah, it's Friday. Not ideal, but if he had something, I may look at it. But I'm not too bothered about taking those trades. So here we go. So we got this um, what we call we got this pattern. This is the pattern you always want to look for. If there's patterns that you you want to identify before you take a trade, for me, this is it. You got to use pivot levels, and it happens every time, guys. There's no coincidence. We have when price breaks this level, it comes down. We get, so you don't want to start, let me just take a trade. Without these pivot levels, it's you won't necessarily know if you should be going short or long. All right. Use low risk, I see. He's actually given a gold signal. Sell gold at 26.23. I'm not gonna touch it. So you can go short. I mean, sorry, price retraces and it goes long. Okay. And so just these alone are good. Now, if I put in the chops, like the chop zone is just letting us know that, we've gone from sells, we had this crossover, and, we're just going long. I mean, this is just kind of plain to see with that. If I add the RSI, again, RSI is probably a bit of an overkill, but I do like the fact that it's good exit. So if you're taking an entry or this period here where the yellow, if you guys can see this clear, where the yellow crosses the purple, again, I like when price crosses the 50 line, this middle line here. And I may write these rules out at the end so we're all clear on how to take these. When we again, this is a great trade. If if you're doing a regular trade, I like to see this happen. Again, even if binary trade, perfect. This is for me where I would probably put on more than one entry and take that trade. Okay. So I'm seeing some stuff happening here. I can see that it's giving me a buy, buy trade around this level here. Again, I'm waiting for something happen on the right-hand side before I look to take that as a trade. And we can take that as a trade. Just keep my eye on it. But these are really good setups. Okay. Happens here again. So if I go entry every 20 pips. Okay, he's putting another trade alert in there, making me it's making me get some interest, but I'm gonna ignore it. Okay, guys, so we'll go back 20 minutes or so. I wanna start actually putting some of these trades to work. If I can drag this up here. Same thing, right? Drag that up there. Same move. So the price breaks the pivot level. So we want to see that. Broke it. We just want to see this retracement, this red candle. So we've gone green up to this point because we're in buys. When we get the retracement, that's where we're going to look to get in. And you can see the retracements more in a 1 minute. Okay. All right. We've got a break there. Do you know what? I'm just going to go for this. I'm going to go for this pound dollar. All right, let's just get into this trade. I want to do something whilst we're here. Pound dollar. Where is my chart? Oh, man. All right. This is a danger of having too many charts open. So make sure it's the right currency, pound dollar. I'm gonna do 5 minutes and come on, slow me up, man. I'm just gonna do 5 minutes and I'm gonna do a call. So this is a 5 minute trade, guys. So ideally I'll put $24 as a risk. My goal is to make 20 bucks profit. Let me just show you on the candlesticks what it looks like. And so that is gonna do what it's gonna do. I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm just going to let it go. All right. So we will get a notification in 5 minutes whether it's made me profit. If it does, that'll be 84% profit. If not, then it won't be. Okay. But we'll see. And so, if I'm not doing all of this, I would have probably had more mind. But my goal here, guys, is that as it crosses, I should have been in by here. I actually missed the entry. Should have been in here, this minute candle here. Just as it crosses the RSI line, the black crosses the purple. I'm looking to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and ideally 5. As long as it's higher than my entry, that's a profitable trade. Or when price goes back in again and we go in. So let me go. Let's move this across. So we'll see what happens there. Again, this is a buy trade, which I know it's going to, on a 5 minute, I know it's going to try and pull back and then go. But I'm going to mark it. Okay. Again, nice cross there down below on my TDI. This is above there. That's all good. So again, waiting for price to break, ideally break above. And I may catch this next one. Let me just move this out of the way. So that's the pound dollar. Let me go on to the Kiwi dollar. I was thinking I was looking at the Kiwi dollar earlier. I should add this to my watch list. Pound dollar there? No. Let me add that to my chart. Where am I? Come on. Add to watch list. Gosh, let me do that one. Boom. Got pound dollar there. Oh man, it's crossing it again. Once that crosses, how many seconds have I got? Got 2 more seconds. I may go in again. Let me see how the other one's looking. Let me see how the other one's looking. Are we in profit or are we? Okay, so it's just underneath. So, oh, it's just above. So it's nicely above. Okay, I'll let that go. We've got, let that one play out and see how that one pans out. So again, we are going to look at Kiwi dollar, Kiwi NZD USD. So I just want to show you these setups. Vantage. Got some really good crosses on that one. So let me switch on a minute on here. Kiwi USD. Let's bring it all together. Vantage. Now again, some of these will differ. Yeah, I'm on different on close option. You know, those levels, they may not be exactly the same levels on here. So I should actually look at a broker that's really close to what I'm doing. But I do trade using Vantage on my live funds. So I'm just going to add this to my watch list. Okay, and so let's have a look at this. Bit quite choppy, but again, it was on our list from Akashex of assets to look for and really to go long in the market. Okay, so again, if I'm looking at my chop zone, you know, we've had this little retracement area, and now we've had this buy. Now, if I'm waiting again, this area here is about to cross. These could be setups that you can take, or you can just take, you know, you don't have to wait for every single thing to be aligned. These are, you know, they're lagging indicators. They're not, price is the best indicator. So, which is why I want to show you without all of these, what's really good when you're looking at taking these trades. So again, if you got a pivot line, remember when you got this pivot, and if I had to just have one indicator on my chart is a pivot line. All I need to know is what's the directional bias. Are we going long? We're going short. If we're going long, then all I'm waiting for is this move to happen. I want this. It would be nice to have it as a little template, but I haven't got it. No. Okay. Right. Okay. So let me do it. Alt T. Whoops. Don't want that there. Let me just drag it here. Price breaks. So we wait for it to come down, which is this red one. So if we're going long, we just wait for a reversal or pullback, which will be a red candle. And the other way around, if we're selling, then we wait for a green candle to show up. And then we do it the other way. So whoops, pressing the wrong button there. Alt T. Which one is it? Yeah, Alt T. Again, I just want to draw the point home. And then we do one more. All right. Do one more. Okay, so we always want that move, that flash Gordon move. Price goes up, comes down, back on that line. You see how perfect that it comes back on, and we take the trade. Okay, that's the ideal setup. And you know, we can drop to a minute to get the ideal kind of sniper entry. So if I just show you guys what I'm talking about, if I bring this across, I look at that time. What time was that? This time was at 7 o'clock. So let me look at what 7 o'clock looked like on a 1 minute time frame. All right, we got it right there. That was it. As you can see, my Picasso. I didn't actually realize the trend actually shows on there as well. I didn't realize it did that. That's fantastic. So 7 o'clock is this move here. So it breaks up, and this is the 7 minute candle. Price came up, came down, and then boom. We are, and if I show you on the RSI, price broke up, crossed it right here, crossed it and went. Like it was a nice move. Wait for that. You can wait for on a minute. It's a lot easier to get another re-entry. You can see where price crossed it again and you could have gone for another 5 minutes and made another gain, another 84% profit on that trade. All right. So at the moment, yeah, we had the same move here happen. Came down, um, tested the line, and it went. Okay. Probably from a different direction because we were going down, but it came down, respected this pivot line, and then we went long. Okay. So if I brought up my RSI, again, I don't want you to be so reliant on all of these indicators, but I want you to see the power of these. Why am I not seeing it? Okay. I want to see the power of these indicators. When we have a scenario like that where the market goes down, we had a cross here, and then price went long. Okay. And so there's two things. If you're doing it on a 1 minute time frame, okay, yeah, like you're using the 1 minute, then you would go for 5 minutes. If we're using the 5 minute as we go for 15. All right, so you get a bit more, you get less noise, but the minute gives you a really nice entry. So it's up to you where you want to have both of them. I do like to see them kind of line up, but on the 5 minute, just this alone. All right, if I was just to minimize, again, if I'm just working with the RSI and the pivot levels, this is what I want to see. Bish, come down and go. All right. And even so much here, you see where you see this pullback here. It's exactly the same thing here. If you look on the RSI, we got this move going up. As it approaches this, what's it called? This pivot level, it comes down, right? So same thing. If you couldn't see it here, you should definitely see it here. And if I was to really big this up, just to make this really prominent, right? So look at this zigzag move. We want this to happen right around here. If this is the only thing you need to eyeball, then this is it. And all you would do, guys, you're not gonna, these levels, they're already pre-written. So when you go about your day, you set yourself an alert on Tradingview. So let me just set an alert here. I'm going to set an alert when price hits here. I set an alert when price hits here. Where else? So this pivot level is going to be there. You go get on with your day. All right. When these levels happen, when they hit, we do one down here. Boom, add alert. So when price hits these levels, it's game time, right? So just to show you how many times and this scenario plays out, we had the same thing here, right? So price this is a different one, right? Price did this, came down. So we're just waiting to go long because we're in buys. And if you're not sure, there's two things that will tell you. You can obviously look on the cash. That's going to change. You need to refresh it. You can look at the chop zone and see, okay, yeah, this is the area here. This isn't the overall trend. This is just what it was doing at the time. But we're looking to go long, and then we get a change in direction. And so let's minimize that. And the TDI. So if I was to bring the TDI back up, again, the TDI, all of these are independent. The TDI, we ideally want this line to be above. It has to be above the yellow. Okay. So green above the red, red above the yellow. So both of them above the yellow, we know we're going long. So again, just another filtering tool to kind of help you with direction. All right, I'm going to collapse that. So if I'm just working with this, for example, this is what I want to see. I want to see price crossing. This move here take place. This move here, sorry, here takes place. Is this pullback here? Price goes up and it crosses, and we can enter. So again, these levels. I'm going to show you probably a cleaner one than that. I mean, this shows you the other way. But again, if you're placing trades and you want to know what your own take profit levels are, going from one pivot level to another, these are good TP levels. All right, so let's go here. Oh, this is going back too far. That's in the morning. No one's trading in. Well, unless you're in London, you can be trading that. But these are good levels where you can say, okay, I'm out. When price hits here, I'm out of the market. And then that pivots, bringing the price down. But it's also a level where we're waiting for price to cross. Okay, like it did here. You see, there's no coincidence, guys. If I just make, let me just make this big. I just really want to get the point clear here. If I was to bring this up, because you may think these aren't big moves. They're big, they're massive moves. But price is doing this. It knows at one point, this is at 3:15 in the morning for me, right? Is that Friday morning, 8:15? Yeah. Wow. Is Kiwi moving? Yeah, anyway, let me ignore that. We got this move happen, right? We're not really interested so much in all of this stuff going on here until price comes back to our pivot level. Now it's game time. So we're not eyeballing this. We're just waiting for a notification. This happened at 7 o'clock. This move. And then it happened again. It came and retested it at 8:30. So it's not it's not no coincidence. This to happen, well, one, two, three times is a really strong level here now, which has now become support where we can start taking these trades. Okay, so I just want to show you again on the pound dollar. Pound dollar. Wow, pound dollar. That must have made me money. Look at this. Did it make me money? Yeah, it must have made me money. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So again, if it's 255, it didn't make me money. I didn't make me money. Look at that. Up in there. Oh, it made me money. Yeah. I was thinking it must have made me money. Yeah, that's $300 now. So again, that was 84% profit on that trade, on that pound dollar trade. I'm looking at the chart. I'm like, the chart's long, man. I should have definitely nailed me. All right, so let's see if we can get one more trade on. I had about $250 in this account on a couple of days ago. I haven't really been trading, but I did a Bitcoin trade and then this one. Now the Bitcoin trades for me, the crypto ones are easy, easier, or just as easy, but I think even easier. So let's just have a look at Bitcoin, what Bitcoin's doing. So we've got Bitcoin and Ethereum that we can trade, and let's see where we're going with this. I want to first of all, guys, any questions on what I'm showing? I want to be clear on this. I know I'm introducing a lot of different indicators, but really and truly, I want to kind of strip it down so it's not just about the indicators. I want you to be clear on what we're doing here. So again, I'm just going to walk you through. I'm going to go back to Akash first and foremost. All right. And I want to look at BTC. So let's have a look at this. Now, the rule with anything, you lose two trades, you'd stop trading. You win three trades, I'm done. Oh, praise God. That's my analogy. This is fantastic. So guys, I'm looking at something. It's good news. I'm not seeing any questions. I don't know if that's a good thing, but hope you guys are getting my approach, the way I like to do things. Okay. Like I said, there are educators that like Matty Pips. He has, and I think Matty Pips really and truly, he was the one before Carshex became what it is. He was the one that was helping people win with his trades. So he does binary trades and swing trading. I know Joel does binary as well. And so he's got a whole bunch of videos in what he does here in his sessions and stuff. So if you look at his replays and stuff, you can look at if you do view all, it doesn't actually show the descriptions. I think underneath session replays, he's got a whole bunch of replays. Not every educator has all of their sessions recorded, but Manny, I believe he helped the community make a lot of money using binary trading, right? So I have my way of doing it. Joel has his way of doing it. Like all the educators, they all have their way of doing it. But at the end of the day, whatever wins, wins, right? Um, okay, no worries, John. Sounds good. So let's just look at. I want to do ideally another trade if I like the setup. But I want to show you one that pivots off the pivot level. All right. So first and foremost, if I look at the trend analysis again, I started and there was a trade we could have taken as a short, but ideally, you do want to go with the trend. Trend is your friend, so you do want to go with your trend, um, and it makes your life easier. You're going to make more. You're going to have more winning trades than you have losing trades by sure. So we're still strong. Euro dollar. I don't even think euro dollar was on the list before. I don't think it was all that before. So now we have euro dollar. There's my list gone. So buys. So euro, euro USD is in the mix. We've got pound Aussie. That's not on our list anyway. And this one here. All right. So if I move that out, we got crypto wise. BTC, it's not so great. LTC, we haven't got that. So yeah, I don't want that. I want to see strong, strong. Maybe Ethereum at a push. Dollar CAD. Is dollar CAD still now? See, dollar CAD at one point we were looking at as a sell. Now market has changed. So we're not looking at any sells. And yeah, okay. All right. If we had these on there, I would have traded them. But we could trade these anyway. Like, I'm going to show you just with Litecoin on your own broker account and Solana, maybe these two, Litecoin and Solana. So if I'm trading crypto, of course, I would like to ideally do um, like on here, gives me about Ethereum gives me 70 something percent, right? So if I click on Ethereum, it's going to give me 70%. So like I said, that's the minimum I'm prepared to do. Oh, they do have Litecoin. All right, so maybe 70. All right, these two. Litecoin was actually giving me a good setup. So I'm going to put LTC and as a buy, LTC. I'm just going to type it here, guys, so you can see it. So LTC, Litecoin, and we got Litecoin, and we got Ethereum. Okay, so out of that list is Litecoin and Ethereum. Um, yeah, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, not so much. Solana, I mean, again, it's not on our list, but I'll look at Link. Actually, I'll look at Solana because we've pretty much got a good, still downtrend. May not be strong by the hour, but it's strong enough. Okay, so I'm just going to put Solana in the mix. We'll just quickly look at that before we wrap up. Um, Solana. All right, so we've got 6 different assets we're going to look at. And I'm just going to quickly look at them to see if they fit our criteria, if they're around pivot levels. But if they're not, guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to mark up the chart, right? So Bitcoin, I'm not interested in. I'm interested in Litecoin. So Litecoin is telling us about was it a buy or sell? It was a sell, wasn't it? I think these were sells. So they all cryptos is bleeding right now. So all the cryptos are sell-offs, right? So again, sells. So ideally, all of this stuff that I'm doing, you want to be doing prior to the market opening. So I did this call at 8. Um, okay, so pips machine, they already dropped 70 pips. So it looks like they did pretty well on that gold trade. I was tempted to, I didn't want to break what I was doing here, but definitely, as I mentioned in the last call, he's a good educator and his pips seem to be pipping. So let's have a look at what I was talking about. Sells, same thing, guys. I want to make this a bit more bigger. I'm just going to have it with these two indicators. Again, if you're ever in doubt about what I'm talking about, you can bring up the chop zone. You know, we can clearly see where the market's bleeding, right? From this point. Right. So again, we've got a sell trade. Now, that's and you to be honest, you don't even need to have the TDI showing. If you don't want to have too much showing, it's just letting you know that the market's crossed. The red is now, this is the ideal scenario. The green is below the red and the red is below the yellow. That's the ideal scenario. We know the trend is short without a question of a doubt. If we didn't have the chop zone and we had this minimized, which we can do, we know it's going to print us a sell. We're not interested in a buy because we know we're in sell territory. So this is how, again, I would take this trade. This would have been a really good trade actually to have taken. Look at this move. So again, we get the alert. Now I'm only at this point. This is all I'm interested in doing. Before this happens, I would have marked this up. Whoops. Before this happened, I would have marked this up. So I'm going to set an alert on Litecoin hitting here. So when it does hit here, this is around 7 and it went up to about 8 o'clock when the market opened. So, you know, when I was looking at other assets, this would have been a perfect ideal setup. As the New York market opens, ding, we get a crossover on the RSI. It's below the 50 line. And again, remember that candle I look for, guys. I look for a candle which is a doji pattern. There's loads of chart patterns out there. This is the only one I'm ideally looking for. Small body, wicks either side, boom, we drop. All right, that's kind of my ideal. We get this again going down now. Let me just draw this out so that it's clear. Again, you don't necessarily have to draw these. I just want to kind of show you what I'm dealing with. When price breaks this level, we get the sell signal. Price breaks it. I'm waiting for price to retrace. I mean, if I can get all of these at the same time, it's just fantastic. Sometimes you can't get them all where you got a nice doji and all of that. But if you get it, then you know that it's a really solid trade. You know, the doji pattern is the indecision. You know, the market, the buyers are trying to push it, the sellers are push, and guess who won? The sellers. So that's like the last confirmation. It's like, all right, if you was unsure before, now you should be ready to rock. So we want this flash pattern to always happen. We set the alarm, ding ding. We're going to get maybe some dings around here because it's chopping around. We wait for a proper sell pat to print because that's the direction we're looking at. We wait for the flash, Gordon. Look at that. We've got New Zealand, Kiwi. All right. See what I mean, guys? Now, let me switch to New Zealand. What? Why did it cross? Why did it make that alarm? Okay, all right, excellent. So Kiwi. I thought Kiwis were long. It may be long. Okay, this is good. Happened here, happened here. So we're getting a rejection off here. I did believe we're going. Let me just go back to Akash real quick. And let's look at New Zealand. New Zealand. It's not ideal. That's why it's just probably off my list. It's not ideal. So I'm not that interested in this anymore. I'm more interested in these two. Let me just refresh it. Euro dollar, pound dollar. Let me just refresh that real quick. All right, guys, we're over the hour mark. I'm going to probably just wrap up in the next 10 minutes. Actually, the next 10 minutes should be quite interesting because let me run it to 9:30 because the stock market opens. I am trading an indice and I do need to keep an eye on that. So I am going to mark up my chart and kind of just close out in the next few minutes just with what I'm going to do regarding my indice trade. So again, I've just done a refresh. It's a shame this doesn't auto refresh. So it's always good to refresh it yourself. These are really strong ones, pound New Zealand, but everything else is a bit blur now. All right. Got neutral here, strong there, blah, blah, blah. Pound Aussie. But let's just go with the ones we can do. Oh, okay. These have come a bit more prominent. The BTC has come back into our mix. So again, so before you pull the trigger or anything, just double check. You don't have to keep switching back and forth. There's other tools, but I do like this tool because it lets you see across the board here. There are other tools. I use an app that I pay a monthly subscription on. You don't have to do that, but let me just show you real quick what I look for. And this is really good on a short time frame. Let me just take all these off. So if I'm looking at a currency pair, and in this example, let me look at my between these two, I know, right? I know pound, dollar is a buy overall, right? So if I look at the pound is showing me real weakness. It was strong. Actually showing me weakness on a 15-minute. Let me see on a overall time frame. So I would put the pound there and I'll put the dollar there. And so what this does, it helps me identify massive trend. So if I look at this, I can see from 550 this morning, the pound was really strong and the dollar was really weak against it. Okay. And then we got in a situation where I'm seeing that the other scenario showed around where we had this, we had the dollar. Sorry, what am I talking about? Sorry, I was going off the charts there. So buys were really strong. We saw that. Okay, we can see that on a daily, hour, 4 hour, and I think on an hour, only the last 9:15, last 5 minutes, it changed. Okay, so we had this interchange here where for the most part from five-ish, the pound was really strong, still strong. It's always been strong. And now we're getting that slight change here, where price may have pulled back. But overall, if you look at the daily time frame, it's still weighted very heavy against the dollar. Kiwi, if I just put the Kiwi into the mix, Kiwi dollar, I'll put the Kiwi here. Same thing, guys. Kiwi was really strong against the dollar around 545. So, it just lets us know the directional bias we're going into on a 4 hour. It's only now they almost got, changed direction, but it's still, and if I look at an hour now on a lower time frame, probably got that change here. We've got, the dollar, which is why the last panel on a cash, to show you something here, the last panel may sometimes not be strong anymore because of the change. It may show uptrend, but it's not like these aren't strong as they were before. Okay, because the market's changed. And this is why you drop down. But at five between 5 and 8, yeah, very strong, very strong. And the last one we're looking at was euro. So again, euro dollar. So you can tell the pairings. If I look at the overall, again at 5:45 my time, euro again strong against the dollar. Dollar showing real weakness. This is that anything goes below 3 is really weak, overall, and dollar's really weak. So that was a constant. We know that the dollar was weak, so the pound, New Zealand, euro were all strong. Now, with that in mind, if you had, you can do this, you can replicate this inside of Akash. Whoops, I don't need to do that. You can also do that same analysis inside Akash. I've used that indicator for years, and it's great because it alerts me when there's a price that's really like if the dollar's really weak, I can set an alert for when price drops below a certain level, then I'll pay attention to it. All right. And that may be my trigger for me to start looking at the charts at a time. That makes sense to me. In fact, I should have ideally done that. But you've got all of that as well inside. You don't have to spend a dollar. This is part of your membership. Currency strength meter. You have that inside here as well, represented in a slightly different fashion. And again, right now, things have changed. But what I like about the other one, it gives you history. So you can look at things, and there's other websites. I'm going to go into it now. We can do that, but you've got all of that in one place in a cache. Okay, but the trend analysis is what I go to look at these charts. So again, a couple of more minutes before the market opens, and when that opens, guys, I want to show you what happens, because the New York session is unique because we've got the New York open and we've got the stock market open. All right, so again, I'm looking at these. Yeah, it's a lot of trend. The only one that's held true, I mean, these are still good. Don't get me wrong. Is Litecoin, and what else? Yeah, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. We'll have a look at them, and then I'll wrap up with looking at we got Litecoin here. So probably we go here, and look at that, guys. So same thing. This is Litecoin. Same move. Is it happening, or is it still loading the other chart? I can't believe the parallels between this. Hold on. Hold on. What was I just looking at? I can't believe how. No, no. Was I looking at Litecoin before? This looks exactly the same as. Was it New Zealand? No, no. It wasn't New Zealand. There was something else I was looking at. Wow. There was something else I was looking at, which was almost identical. Anyway, let me clear these off. Let me get rid of these. Trend line. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right. All right. So these, yeah. So again, we saw the pattern here. That's at 6 o'clock. Brilliant. So guys, just that in mind, I just want to talk about, we saw you can saw that we're going long, wait for this pattern to happen. If I was to move it down here, I started here and I moved it up here and it didn't break. So you see the next level, it got to this level and it didn't break it. Okay. So when we get another alert, knowing that we are strong on the pound is still strong. Now we did see this cross, right? I'll just show you on my chart, on my currency strength. We did get this on a lower time frame where they started to cross. Okay, so we started to get the pound going weaker and the dollar. We actually had that same scenario happen, I think around here, right? Around 816, where we had the dollar change in direction with the pound. So around 816, which was around here, 816, whoops, 816 was here, 816. So we had some weakness here where the market started to retrace. But up to this point, we had a really strong, so the market kind of pulled back. And right now we've now got that same thing around 915 around here where the prices starting to sell off. Okay. Going to ignore that. I want to see if there's anything worth taking. So the Litecoin was really good. Let me go back to the Litecoin example. Guys, I need to get ready for the stock market open. This is perfect. I don't know if I was marking this up. I must have marked this up without even realizing it. But this would have been fantastic. This must have been what I was talking about before. Sorry, guys, I must have lost my place. So yeah, so that was that move. Litecoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin again. Bitcoin was a sell-off. So we got this move happened. Really bullish candle. We got a sell signal here. Price did come back and retest the level. Didn't break above it, retested it, and then we got a sell. So again, this was more like a hammer. This is like a hammer. So this another reversal pattern. Is a hammer pattern. So you can see a big body at the bottom and a long wick. Okay, kind of didn't quite get up there. Rejected more up here. And then we can see below the 50 line, we got price going below the 50 line. Broke there, went below the 50 line. That's a really good entry. So there's a couple of things here just really waiting in our direction. I'm going to switch to the SP 500. I'm actually in this trade, which is why I've got a lot of interest here. And oh my days, this is fantastic. Man, I should have placed a trade. Wow. This is great. So same thing, guys. We've got that same scenario happen. Wow, this is excellent. Same scenario happened. Price broke. Tested this line. Got our alert. Okay. Also want to alert. All these pivot lines. You may not be able to do so many alerts on a free version, but you can do alerts. So you don't have to do it on every single part. In fact, I'm going to put it up there because it's below it. So let me look at the next low. This is really dropping, which is great. Is down here. All right. Add an alert there. I drew this trend line for some reason, but I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. So as this market drops, we can see again similar thing. If we had the S&P on the binary, this would be an ideal setup. Okay, again the lightning bolt. To be honest, I do really want to get this clear. Didn't break it. It kissed it almost. Got rejected. That's what we want. We want rejection when it comes. Either breaks it or it gets rejected. It got rejected and then it came down. And this is the candle that confirmed it. We can get in here. Again, that pullback, guys. If you're not drawing it, it's fine. Don't need to draw it. But we've got it already. Look at that. My goodness. We've got it already here. So we've got that same thing. If we look at where we are, got that lightning bolt, zoom up, then down. This is the candle, the rejection, the little pullback, and then we go down from there. So I've actually switched quite a few things here. So guys, any questions on any of this that I'm sharing? Brent Badal, I think Brent Badal's got a tap to trade. Didn't even see that come out. So let's look. The NASDAQ gets traded a lot. So let's have a look at NASDAQ. All right, so okay, NASDAQ just broke this level. Fantastic. So again, we're 5 minutes away from the market open. Oh, it's actually the market has opened. And so let's see if there's any fireworks. Normally there's going to be a lot of shakeouts in the next 5 minutes or so. So ideally, I'm going to see if price comes back and goes. So it's broken below it, which is quite nice. I want to see if it comes back to test it. If it keeps dropping, then it may come back in the next few minutes because it's the market open. Could be a nice drop on NAS. Looking pretty good so far. Let me look at NAS on a 1 minute time frame. See what the 1 minute's doing. Okay. It's pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay, we had that. On a 1 minute, we saw we had a price break, come back. I think it's this one here, this candle here. We had that drop. Okay, guys, I don't know if there's anything else I want to take. I thought I would have done another trade by now, but I really wanted to switch into getting this information across so that when you're looking at these charts, again, you can, just to recap, all right, when you're looking at close option, You don't have to go live if you don't want to put real money, but I like real money. Put $5 in there, $10 in there, do $1 per trade. See what asset you're looking to trade. Look at the best pairing. Of course, the times and the best times for this is really, if you're going to do it during the London hours, it's going to be ideally an hour maybe before the London Open, so about 7 a.m. UK time till about 10 or 11 UK time. So that 4 hour window, probably the best time where the most volume is going to be, because 7 a.m. is Frankfurt. So you got Euro time zone. And if you're going to do it in my time zone, New York time zone, 7 a.m. Probably be a good time. So between 7 a.m. and 11. After that, probably not. These numbers may change. Definitely after midday, these numbers you won't get 85% or stuff like that. I believe you can even get 90%, but I think you're going to have a certain amount of money in your account. But yeah, these numbers will tailor off, and that's because the volume isn't there as it is. There's a lot more volatility and stuff going on during those peak hours. So let me just have one last glance at the chart. I'm going to look at actually, I want to look at SP5. Is there anything, guys, before I close out? I'm literally going to wrap up now. Anything that I've covered? Oh yeah, I actually was just going to walk you through what I was doing. Let me just do that. So yeah, get your account. If you want to get a demo, you've got the demo option, you've got the live money option. Then go to Tradingview. You can get you don't have to have a paid account. Wow, this is dropping nicely, man. This is good. This is fantastic. Yeah, you don't have to have a paid account. Man, I was thinking that I could have got in on this. 9 o'clock. That would have been a good one to get in on. You can just add one or two indicators. Hey, you don't really need the chop zone. I'm just testing it out based on what Jenna was saying. This is the RSI with the MAC with the moving average cross is really good, especially for binary trading because we want to get in on those pullbacks. But ideally, your best trades, your best setups, if you're going for triple A setups only, which is what I'd only encourage you to do. Don't just take a trade if you get a buy. Let's just see if we don't get a buy sell signal at a prominent point, just ignore it and move on. So let me change this to a 5 minute and let me just look at anything right now. And I'll wrap up with this. Let me look at what's on my list. Ethereum, Solana. Let's just look at Solana. Okay. I know it's not on that list. In fact, I do need to look at, I do have another broker that I've not used in a while. And I wonder if I'm going to try it. Let me just log into my pocket option, guys, because crypto is becoming a lot more mainstream. And pocket option did have some of my cryptos, but they didn't really have I've got a trade alert. They didn't really have what I was after. So, I'm hearing that. What's going on? Something's happening. All right, S&P. All right, okay, wow. This is fantastic. So I've got an alert on the S&P. All right, I'm good. We're in the S&P right now. So let me just quickly look at that. See the whole screen. I can't see the whole screen come up. Just minimize this a bit. Got across an alert. That means it's hit a pivot level, which is great. Come on. This thing looked like it's dropping like a rock, mate. It's fantastic. Yep. This is good. I've been in this trade since Monday, so this is good. Hallelujah. Tell you, one thing you need in trading is patience. Right. Okay. So here we've got this rejection. This is ideal, what we want. So again, I'm going to drag this down here. I'm actually expecting more like this. Right? I'm actually expecting more like this. Drag this one here. This is what I'm waiting for. So, and last one. All right. Come on. Move it, move it. This is what I'm waiting for. That's the move, right? So around these pivot levels, that's all you want to see happen, right? You want price to break below, come back, kiss it, and then go, okay? Price moves always in this direction. Ideally, we've got, this is lower. So I'm going to just keep something in mind, guys. So lower high, just put it on the chart here. Lower highs. Come on, what can I type? Come on, son. What's going on? I'll give up. It's my computer. It's running really weird. When I do stuff, something's not quite happening. I don't know why. We do a bit of reboot. Okay. So LH. Yeah, I want to make that in. Oh, all right. So let me just copy that. All right. So we've got this is painful. Sorry, guys. I want to type here. Lower, lower. Okay. We're going to do this last markup here. My computer's playing up, man. Lower, low, and lower high. Right off the screen there. All right. So when we're doing with trend, we want to be. Stop it, man. We want to be doing this. We want to be having lower lows and lower highs. So this high is lower than this high. This low, ideally this one here, is lower than that low. When we're going the other way, we've got the other direction is higher high. I'm not going to draw it because this is getting on my nerves. Is higher highs and higher lows. But here, we've got low highs. So that high is lower than this one, and this low, this one here. But just do one more. Let me copy it. Is give me a break. Is lower than this one. All right. I drag that there. So lower and that one. All right. So that's the move I'm waiting on, guys, for it to happen. It's going to get some rejection here for sure. And then we go. So this is why the pivot level is so crucial, because without that, this could have just happened. And you might think, why is it happening here? Well, now you know, because of this rejection level. So last but not least, I do want to look into Pocket Option, which is another binary options account that I've had for a long time now. Oh, praise God. Look at that. Look at that. Hallelujah. Sorry, guys. What's going on with this? Is it taking ages? I'm going to pause the recording. It's getting really long. Okay, guys. So as I bring this to a halt, I'm going to just show you my indicators that I use. If I click on indicators, I use, oh my goodness. Sorry, my computer is running really weird today. So I'm gonna ping it in the description of this video. But I've got pivots, traditional auto. I've got the RSI, standard RSI. I use the chop zone, and right at the bottom is the TDI, which I don't even actually need to have on the screen, but you can see I use the TDI. TDI gives me a buy or sell signal when the red crosses the green, which is great. So I can leave it off the chart, so I can have less, less things for me to look at, and then I can just focus on what I need to focus on. But this, my friends, the pivot is real crucial because we want price to break these levels, and we want it to then go in our favor, as I'm showing you. Guys, I'm just modifying the trade here, and then that is it. Once we got that, we do the same pattern. So just get good at marking up your charts. If anything, just get into the practice. And if you want to send me what you're doing before you do it, I don't mind. But get good at this. Just get good at marking up. It's not all about how much money you can. Whoa, what did I do there? Okay, that's cool. I don't know what I did there, but that's fine. More space for me to show my artwork. But just get good at doing that around this level. Set alerts. Okay, I'm going to set an alert. Again, you can only set a certain amount on a free version, but set alerts. And if you can't do it on TradingView, do it on something else. What's going on there now? It's giving me pure grief today. Can't do it. I'm gonna have to restart my computer or something. Anyway, set alerts because we want this move to happen. Oh, there we go. That's what we call sometime-ish. Oh, hallelujah. Wow. Um, we just want it to happen when it needs to happen. And it will just, it will play out. So all your job is to just do your part. And that's it. You're not looking to do anything more than that. That trade I was marking up my S&P trade, SP 500 trade, because the markets are just dropping big time. Wow, look at Link, man. Wow, that dropped nicely. So again, when you get into these trades, look at that. The market opened, New York opened at 8. Wow. New York opened at 8. We've got rejection for about 30 minutes. Boom, price dropped. Easy money. That's what we want. We don't want stress making these profits. This is enough to pass a prop firm. If you're working on your prop firm, you definitely do want to make sure you're getting the best entries ever possible. So, you know, it's worth you doing, it's doing stuff like this, looking at your trades, just waiting for the best setups so that you've got the best chance of passing your prop firm and getting access to that money. Okay. Not all trades are equal, as we know. All right. So again, I'm going to look at Solana was the last one I was going to look at. That's a really good trade, man. Oh my goodness. Wow, wow, wow. So really good trade setup. And my days, come on. All right, here's Solana. What did Solana do? What did Solana do? I don't see it hitting that pivot level. Oh, it did. It did. All right. So Solana broke. It didn't come right back. But this one here, again, this is a really telling candle. This is at 5 a.m. in the morning. Probably wouldn't be sleeping. But again, price broke this level. We got this. This is a reversal candle before we got all of that nice stuff happen. This is a reversal candle. So again, try to push back. It came back down. It got rejected off this level. And here we go. Boom. Here we are today. Big profits, man. Huge profits to be made. And yeah, shame I can't get into Proton, but I'm going to restart my computer. I'll be intrigued to see what Proton does. Ah, actually, one thing, guys, let me just see if I can do it on my phone. If I can, I'll just share my phone real quick and I'll close out with that. Any questions, guys, before we wrap it up? Proton, not Pro, yeah. What's it called? What's it? Pocket options. I keep saying pocket option. Pocket option. Yeah. Let me see. I need to check back on my S&P 500 trade. Um, this is a trade that is, wow, it's been going really well. Wow. Guys, what did I say? What did I say? We want the price to do that. And what did it do? It did exactly that. Now we're in the kill zone. So when we drew it, I don't think none of this was here for sure. We got that rejection off there. I said I'm already in these trades, so all I'm doing is just modifying my trades. This is from Monday. I've been in this trade as I placed trade in the opposite direction, and I just had to ride it out. And sometimes that's what happens. You just got to ride out some of these trades, because things they go in cycles, right? So 17, 17. Oh yeah, can't do that. 5. I'm trying to log on my phone here and remember me. Okay. Okay. Let me try the other password. Okay. No. Oh, I've got it. I think I'm getting in, guys. So let me just pause the recording. Zoom that. Yeah, I can't get into my other binary account, which is fine. But just leaving you with the lesson on this is that as we break below these levels, again, we just want this to replicate itself as we drop and to do the same thing. That's all we want to see play out is we have this scenario and we are good. All right. So again, I keep that like that. We want to keep this pattern. This is our ideal pattern when we break these levels. Okay. All right, guys. With that, thanks very much for your time. And I will get the recording out as soon as possible. Take care and hope I would like to get some feedback with you guys in your trades with this stuff, with binary trading, anything like that. All right. Take care. Have a good one.